All right, so we're going to get into how to start and set up Rapidfire V4. All right, so there's a really simple setup process here. Again, what I was talking about with the beginner risk settings, you got your settings 1 through 10 for longs, 1 through 10 for shorts. So it makes it really, really easy to risk on with your longs or risk on with your shorts. So hopefully you think that, hopefully that makes it a lot easier for you guys. And so beyond that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set your chart up for a, let me go here on the BTC chart. You want to set up on a 15-minute chart here, okay? 15-minute or 1 hour is really good. 1 hour, I would say, lower risk, right? And then 15-minute for the faster trades. And basically, you can get a trade every 15 minutes or every 1 hour. So, yeah. Beyond that, we are looking at setting up your bot platform. So you do that. You know, it's just a little scroll down here. You choose your platform, 3 commas, Wick Hunter or Profit Trailer. And then you will get email token. It's an email token for 3 commas. It's a UUID for Wick Hunter, or it's like a token. I think they call it a token for Profit Trailer. But yeah, you use that here. And then you will have a long bot ID for 3 commas and for Profit Trailer, okay? And that's basically where you're going to either get a number for your bot. When you create your 3 commas bot, you're going to get a number up here in your URL, or you'll get it they basically give you a quick little bit of code, so you can just find your bot ID that way, and then you create the alert. So creating an alert, because we're using easy alert or any alert, sorry, is very easy. You go to Rapidfire, you select any alert function, and then you can see what I've done in here. So these are the pairs that I use on my alerts. So you can see I like to mark what I have on my beginner settings. So like 2-1 on ETH, right? A 7-2 on INJ, right? So that's just your long and your short. I like to just mark it down, because unless you want to have to save each chart, it's good to have that in there. And then I have a few of the advanced settings, which we'll get into after. I like to save those also in my chart. But yeah, you set to any alert function call, and then I say create, and that's it. You're done, and that will send off to your 3 commas, your Wick Hunter, or your Profit Trailer. All right, guys. And then beyond that, when you're setting up charts, so let's go through this now. Let's go through setting up a link. And so we will go, yeah, this is all default settings, right? I'm going to make sure we're all default here. Yeah, it looks good. All right. And so yeah, we want to make this chart look as good as possible. And now, to be honest, this is all right, right? These shorts are getting out, but you know, we're missing like this pump, right? We want to optimize this a little bit, okay? And so what you do is you start to bring up your longs, right? I want to catch this pump, so I'm going to start bringing up my longs. Let's try like a 2. You start to see more trades coming in. A 3. I'll try a 5 here. Okay, there we go. So 5 is the magic number, and all of a sudden we're taking it from the top here, and then we're longing from the low set in on mid-July, and this is the pump that gave us those 6.25% on the paper trading account, and so that's what you want to start seeing there, and yeah. So actually, we're doing all right on the dump that happened from the top there. You could maybe try a 2 on the shorts to maybe get a little bit further along there, but actually it's looking like it's staying the same. All right. And I'm going to give you guys a little secret. if you want to get a few more trades, we have a drop threshold, right? So price has to go, if price starts going against you, basically, like you can see, we're dumping here, right? So we're not grabbing trades. If you want to, this is the drop threshold. So you can see after 10%, it starts to open longs again. You can bring this down to a 5 and watch how many more trades you get, right? So this is the way you can you can have your drop threshold a little bit more aggressive, and it starts to go crazy. And that's what the degens are loving, right? You want to get more trades, make your drop threshold 5 or 4, that sort of thing, but use it very, very sparingly and carefully. And these are so the sort of settings there. If you do set it up, you just want to have that for a little while, right? You don't want to have that going for a long time. So yeah, just be careful with how you use that. Okay, and yeah, so that's our link, just set up nice and perfect, right? Same thing with ETH, right? This is just a 1-1 setting, right? It makes it super easy on your ETH and BTC, and like you saw on the Chainlink, just a little bit more to work with there. Moving along here, right? You want to just make sure you're grabbing the absolute tops and bottoms, right? And not stuck in shorts during pumps and longs during dumps. Okay, and if you watch on the advanced setup, we'll get more into filtering on those unique situations where there are trades offside. Okay, so this is just a suggestion here with 3 commas. You don't need to follow these settings exactly, but if you're starting out, you can use this as a base setup and tweak on your own. Make sure you're always doing your own settings, doing your own research, and trying out different things, and always starting good methodology, right? We're always starting at 1% base order safety order, and then increasing as the bot proves itself. Can't emphasize this enough. Every bot needs to be tested before it's used. Okay, we want good methodology. I know rapid fire looks great, but even for rapid fire, well, I want to see you guys starting out, getting used to it before you start leaning in. Okay, all right. So this actually shows you with 3 commas, right? In the URL, you can see your bot ID, or you can do go to the message on your bot page and do show, and it will also show bot ID. That's a nice quick way to get your bot ID and put it into the field. You can see right here, long and short bot IDs go in there. All right, and then to be able to rapidly create new bots, you just do copy. Once you've already created a bot, just do copy, and it will use the same settings, and you can just especially if you're doing composite, you just need to do copy once, switch it over to short, and you're done on your longs and shorts. Okay, and if you're using Bybit, where you have to make a new one for each pair, which is a pain, you can do copy for all your different pairs. Okay, what I like to do is max active deals 4. Don't really want to go above that. In case you do happen to get into a lot of bags, you want to max it out at 4. Okay, and really what we're looking at, as I said, base order, safety order, always starting at 1. Right, good starting methodology, and then I personally only go up to 2.5%, and so I want to emphasize, 2.5. Once the bot starts proving itself out, you can start increasing towards 2.5. And if a bot just it's performing for a long time, doing super well, you can, and you're an advanced user, you know what you're doing. Yeah, maybe go up to 5%, never more than 5%, but only for our advanced users, only when a pair has really proven itself to not bag up and to do well. Yeah, and then deal start condition, you're going to choose TradingView custom signal. That is over here, right? To TradingView custom signal. And then, yeah, target profit, I like to use 0.3%. I found a lot of success with rapid fire doing 0.3%. 0.25% is sort of the low end, and 0.5% is the high end. I wouldn't go much more than that. Although depending on how you set up, like if you're running a 1-hour chart like this, you can see like it would do pretty well with a 1% take profit. So if you're a more advanced user, right, if you can deal with the potential of missing a take profit, or you've got your filters dialed in where you're not worried about being caught offside, yeah, you maybe up to 1% if you're really experienced. Okay. And then on the last thing, I really want to emphasize this with DCA, you know, like with SAR, we were saying DCA, like 7 DCAs down to 30%, you know, that can really get you into hot water, all right, if price goes against you. Rapid fire is that lower risk strategy, right? Where we, part of that is making sure you're only grabbing the longs at the beginning of a pump and shorts at the beginning of a dump, right? And so if you're doing a good job at that, you need less DCA, less safety orders, right? So less is more in this case, right? We want to stay low risk. And so what I'm saying here is start with 2 safety orders if you're brand new to this. And because when you're in a swing long range, you know we're eventually going to keep going up until that reversal. And so you can be fairly confident, you know, if you have a little DCA on there, you're going to get out pretty quickly. Okay. And yeah, what I want to say here is really a 3 to 4 safety orders at most. And that will cover you up to a 5 to 8% drop. That is really going to cover you in most cases. And if it goes beyond that, you can look to close those trades, right? And anything above 4 safety orders, you start to get into trouble, right? And with rapid fire, this is not really necessary to DCA down to 15 to 30%, right? This is where if those trades are getting bagged beyond 5 to 8%, they have no reason to exist. And so cut them, risk off on them. You know, you can see lots of information on our VIPs from before on how to risk off of bags. But yeah, those trades should not have happened in the first place. So, and I will also say, for those of you who are around for SAR, and so rapid fire does not adjust its own settings based on trend, right? We've got longs and shorts, right? But if there's a major shift in the market, you absolutely should change your alert settings. I'm not saying set it and forget for rapid fire in all market conditions, right? This is something where if we're in a long heavy market, you're going to have different settings than in a short heavy market. So for instance, if we're in a dump for a year and then all of a sudden we switch to longs, which what happened at the beginning of this year, yeah, you're going to want to change your settings to be more long heavy and looking for major reversals. It's good to have STP Reversal for looking at that sort of stuff on the higher time frames. Also, multi-range is excellent for on the higher time frames, watching our analysis, that sort of thing. In the future, maybe we'll get rapid fire going for long-term trend, automated settings, all that stuff, but it honestly makes it a little bit too complicated. Right now, we're keeping it simple. If you want to be risk off in all situations, then just have a 1-1 on your beginner risk settings, and make sure you're still watching your charts, because you want to be able to be reactive sometimes. It is good. You know, you can leave it for weeks and sometimes months at a time, but when there's major changes, I want to make sure you guys are aware. You do need to go into your alerts and optimize for big macro market conditions. So when we start to have our halving cycle, that is an example where you're going to want to change your settings to a long heavy, right? Go a 4 or 5 on longs. All right. Okay. So that is it for our beginner quick settings. And so if you are a beginner, then keep it simple, keep it what we've talked about there. Start out at 1% base order, safety order, and let her rip, and start as that bot proves itself, start to increase your position size, aiming towards 2.5 for those really good pairs. All right, guys.